time, obviously, you're no longer super ginormous.
Oh, yeah. A while ago. I thought we ended. Did we not end today?
When you sleep that night, he's doing his thing that he was going to do really quick. Yeah, when you do when you sleep at night, you just dream you're like 200 feet tall, just like running through the countryside.
Making it in the bed, just doing it.
Yeah.
So huge.
So big.
Playing catch with the Jolly Green Giant. Ho, ho, ho.
All right, is there anything else you guys want to do or discuss before you go to sleep for the evening?
Does anyone have any ideas?
Hey, lady, I'm new here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, apparently these kingdoms are at war. That's fun.
Yeah. Got dropped in the middle of this. I'm just like, man, what's the guy got to do around here?
Totally.
You hear Eskel from behind the comp. Not to be a bother, but point of order. It is technically just one kingdom.
And was that war of itself?
More or less, yes.
I mean, the cult has a kingdom. Right? They took it.
There's a cult?
Well, that's to be sussed out. That's where the third parties come into play.
I think it's two kingdoms.
What? What is
Jasper, where have you been the past couple of days?
Fighting giant gnomes. Then there was
That's
this
an oxymoron.
Lizard.
He did hit you pretty hard.
Yeah. Wait, where am I?
Giant gnomes. That doesn't make sense.
What happened to that beholder thing? I'm still confused about that.
Could be confused. You weren't even there.
Yeah,
I was there with the bird.
That's where you found him.
Yeah, I was following this bird that was talking really weird, and then
Is that where we're going? Okay. I was thinking you're thinking of your druid.
Yeah, because him and Gronk were wrestling to entertain the beholder, and that's what actually got you back home, because they broke through the wall, and so when your teleport went off, you had to do the wild magic table roll, and that's what you ended up picking, was to go somewhere, I forget exactly what it said, but it basically described home perfectly.
So yeah, I got you guys.
Totally on purpose.
Yep.
Good job, Patty.
Holy shit, this is taking forever. I started updating an hour ago.
I don't know how long I was in that beholder. I don't know any of this stuff.
Okay, minute.
Well, there's basically this cult that has been taking over Arcadia. Arcadia is the kingdom, right? Or is that the country?
So, Northern Arcadia, so the continent, the whole continent is Arcadia, where the future kingdom is Northern. This is just a small section of what eventually becomes Northern Arcadia, the kingdom. So there's probably, within this area, there's probably like a good 50 different kingdoms or so. Large size, though, there's like 5.
Okay, so they've conquered then, or would be conquering the kingdom of Gancaster, or is Gancaster just the capital?
It seems more like civil war of some sort, basically. Within Gancaster, there's essentially the 5 sections that are kind of overseen by different lords, central and then north, south, east, and west. But that is still technically one.
That is a civil war. as that war between self, technically the cult is not, the people. They're more of a separate faction.
But there are kingdoms that
Depending on-
are on the side of the cult. So a good example, the Western Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom used to be until other events happened. Eastern Kingdom is also with the cult. So there's at least, or not kingdom, areas. So at least 3, and they took over the central, which is the actual capital / kingdom of Lancaster, where the castle is.
Okay.
So they got the line straight
At
through the
least
middle.
Taking
What does this
Lancaster.
cult want? What's their goals?
Whether or not they're good or not, I don't know. And I don't really know.
Are
Has
there
anyone
actions?
ever asked?
That's what I'm kind of curious about. I wonder if it's just a misguided attempt.
I know. It really could be.
What if they're actually freedom fighters?
Yeah. What if they're just trying to get, fair rights to all the peasants and shit? Do we know who's in charge of Gancaster?
Then
Yeah, currently or previously?
Current tenant or prior tenant?
Who hired you guys? What's your goal in this?
That's a much longer story.
uh,
I'm gonna get a beer. You can discuss that. Be right back.
we were hired by well, the Bliss place. A representative of a representative hired us to do some investigating. Then we ended up in a tournament, and that tournament, well, let's say a powerful being was sent away, and we were trapped with it, and that's where we ended up meeting you, Leah, on your home. And we went down into the underground, and that's where we found you, and now we're back here.
Who were you originally investigating?
The cult
Oh, okay.
and their ongoings.
That wizard guy,
Then-
was he the guy that hired you?
Sort of.
Indirectly.
Indirectly. When I want to hire people who I want to die, I usually have someone else hire them. Just saying.
Shut up!
Just trying to figure out what our next steps are. I'm a bit confused. I did like that Gronkum guy. I would like to find him though.
Mm-hmm.
I like that though.
You could ask Deft. Oh, Deft's not. Now here's a good question. Could you ask Deft? This could be possible.
Who's this
Could we
handicap
ask
fellow you
them?
keep talking about?
Yes.
Damn it.
Someone who doesn't hear well, and you keep talking about him. Did you get lost?
That still doesn't know Deft. You're on your own, people.
I'm not sure I'm following.
You keep calling someone who's deaf. That do they know where we are? Do you know what they're doing? I'm just curious, maybe if they just can't hear you.
Yeah. His name is Daft. He's not deaf.
Oh, that clears up so much.
Does it really?
Not really. You talk like him like he was your leader. Are you guys trying to find him? Was he taken like Bronco?
Sort of.
Hmm. Pieces all falling together like a puzzle.
Jasper has no idea what's going on.
I'm just-
not a clue. He's just talking to talk.
None of the new people probably know what's going on.
He's playing Jenga with one block in his mind right now.
I mean, he's very good at it, though. That tower never falls over.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Had to use glue once. Got on my hands.
You
The
don't
block
wanna
or the glue?
What did you glue it to?
Both of them. It was weird. It was like I had a unicorn horn.
Be careful talking about glue in D&D. There's horrible things in existence. And I will never give it to you guys, ever. Never, ever, ever.
Universal adhesive.
No! Never! I've seen what it can do.
Need to get some Bronco glue.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Ah,
Alright, so you guys
I
going...
imagine
Oh, go ahead.
if we can find Duff, though, he may have some of the answers we're looking for.
Can't you just ask him? I mean, what's stopping you? Though I suppose we've tried.
Yeah. Magic seems unable to reach him. And going to the castle didn't really seem to work out so well.
what about the guy who hired you? You say he's pretty powerful. Do you think he might be able to find him?
I believe you already asked him.
Oh no,
Not
the
a
guy who
character,
hired
probably. No,
the guy who
Ari.
hired this group. You know, he's somewhere.
Unbeknownst to the characters, I mean, he's he could very easily talk to.
Talks to death every day, in fact.
They probably catch up every now and then.
Are they the same people?
Ever know.
All right. So Def might know where to go, but we don't know how to get a hold of Def. Do we know anyone who we think might be able to get a hold of Def?
Satash?
A Sash? Oh, Sitash. Oh my. Okay. Who's that?
He's a powerful archmage.
Ari, didn't Satosh say he'd be in contact with you? Any word from him?
Nods. Well, yes. Though not directly.
Well, it just depends on which the test you want to pick. Number two, spent a lot of time with you and you just ran away.
Well, to To be fair, he was setting off some red flags.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, well, this one's a little too extreme for my liking, so I'm going to go back to the more plain version. I'll take the normal cult.
The one that doesn't kidnap me on a giant tentacle bird.
I love that bird. I think Jasper was unconscious for. Oh yeah, Jasper never got to see the bird. They described to you, Jasper, this ginormous bird, apparently made of stone, that has essentially these tentacles that can shoot out from it and pull things into it.
What?
Like size of a dragon.
A dragon with tentacles?
It's a bird.
Oh, bird. Sorry.
Yeah, they suck. Answer unclear. Nice.
Through another person, he sent me a message, but not one relating to my arm.
Technically, Kazan did welcome you. Quite specifically, if you do recall.
Technically, who did what?
When you were in the town and you had met, well, it wasn't his physical body, but the person that Kazan inhabited and spoke to you.
Mm-hmm.
He welcomed you on behalf of Hitesh.
Was it on behalf of Stash?
More or less. He said they had been expecting you. And he said, welcome, princess.
He didn't specifically state on behalf of Satan.
Yeah, but you never know. I'll let you draw your own conclusions on that one. Troop of Boy Scouts over there. Eskel at this point will kind of look over at you guys too, seemingly concerned. He's like, so what will you do with the boy?
I don't know, Theris. What do we do with the boy?
I think we should raise him as our own.
Excellent.
He looks over at you, he's like, I don't really recommend that.
Oh,
He's like,
okay.
the last child we had here was Ali, and
I
I will
agree.
tell you, my back hurt for months.
Hallie is a unique case, though. I imagine he would be much more manageable.
And he just kind of like eyes off in the direction. It's like, maybe, maybe not.
I think this place, though, might be the safest spot for him.
Oh no! He swore afterwards. Like, we unloaded her on Kale the last time. No one here will fall for it now. All the Minotaurs on the guard will refuse.
I'm
At
sure
this
Kale
point-
would love to take this one.
Theris would also have noticed, and anyone who'd been out and about a bit, all of the guards here seem to be Minotaurs.
Last I heard of Kale, though, he was imprisoned in Gancaster.
I believe he was executed, from what my reports recall,
Oh,
along with two other of our operatives we had actually sponsored Soren to launch this investigation on behalf of the king. So in a way, it's like I hired you. Funny thing.
Oh my god, it comes full circle.
There's so many layers.
Yeah, Soren is just an old friend, and I mean, Allie and Kale were just so that poor soul. But the child, as sweet as can be, but asked so many questions all day long. The longest 20 years of my life.
Yeah, it's annoying when people talk about it. That's an annoying question.
Wasn't she a child? 20 years?
She's
Oh,
a very
She's most certainly a child.
unique child.
I'm assuming at this point you realize she's not a typical child.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? In my society, I was a child for 100 years.
Very similar, very similar. It just really depends on their surroundings. Like, I haven't seen her in some time. I wonder how she's doing.
Are you certain, though? Are you certain that you won't let the prince stay here for the time being?
No, I don't think that would be best. We tend to stay very neutral. Investigations more neutral than harboring princes.
Didn't Soren mention someone? Takaya?
Decoya?
Yes, didn't he recommend them to rear the child?
I'm back, and holy shit, it finally updated.
Yeah.
I don't know where she is, or how she'll react to us. Last I heard of her, her and Deft were not really on speaking terms.
You could say that again.
This is when you can cue up the sad, the Incredible Hulk walking away music.
Message of the day: death will be the death of us all.
Wait, where do you see that? I didn't see
As
that.
soon as you log in, it pops up.
I said it after you're already in, probably.
Yeah. That's not very nice.
It doesn't have to be nice to be truthful. Dun, dun, dun. Just kidding.
I'm not sure if I like these new buttons.
It still kind of looks like, well, it sounds like that's a great alternative. Do you need help finding this individual? It was,
We have
do you have any of their
no idea
belongings?
where she could be.
Do you have any of her belongings?
Deft might.
Ah,
we gotta
and when will we
find
be expecting
Deft,
Deft?
find the person to find Deft to find Deft.
It's deeper.
Character. If I recall correctly, someone had Takoya's old armor, didn't they? Her
No.
armor that made her immune to crits?
Nope.
No, she
Go ahead,
kept that.
No?
I would like that. Let's go find her.
Takoya has all of Takoya's items and abilities.
Someone else's eye, though.
Still abilities.
I mean, where did you guys last see her? Can't be that hard.
What was the name of that town again, Nobel?
Morrow. The one next to the swamp?
Last place I. Yeah, the one where the Tanner's daughter was kidnapped from.
Correct. The one with all the
Last I saw
crazy
her,
shenanigans going on.
And check there, I
she was
suppose.
in Morrow.
There you go. Easy as that. So, big question. We deal with the kid, and then what? What are we doing?
What are we going to do with the kids? The question.
What if we just sold him to someone?
Now that is an idea I can get
No.
behind.
No.
No, no.
I thought it was a good idea, Jasper.
Eskel just kind of eyeballs Jasper like, how hard did he get hit in the head, you said?
Well, I'm just saying it happened
And
to me.
he just walks up to you and he starts like putting his hands and like inspecting your head for like a concussion. He's like,
I was told that
and you watch his hands light up.
An actor and a wrestler.
His hands are gonna light up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Do you feel better now?"
I don't know. Ask me a question.
What day is it?
Today.
Correct.
Seems fine to me.
Smarter already.
Yeah, high five and
Lesser restoration works every time.
So, Eskel, as the boss of their boss of their boss, do you need anything from us? Because it seems we are quite without a plan.
Well, considering we got fired, I don't know if that technically makes me your boss anymore. However, I mean, if you're looking for work, I could give you work, but nothing related to your task. I could help you find this TikTok individual, but
Do you think they stop? They don't stop.
Could you help us find Gronkum?
we can certainly try. I can aid you in your cause as best I can. But unfortunately, we were hired by the king of Gangcaster, and we were cast out by the same king. At this point, we've provided aid to some of the third parties that will be investigating. And if needed, we will get involved. But at this point, it is best if you stay hands off.
Fair enough. So let's get the kids sorted, and then we can figure something out from there.
Follow me. And he kind of like walks very strangely under his robe as he kind of like walks you down one of the corridors in this chamber. So there's basically the main chapel, and then there's like this side chamber, and one goes off to the teleportation circle, and then one goes off a different direction.
Did the Monty Python silly walk?
He just kind of like smiles. And you walk down like a spiraling stone staircase until you get into this room with this weird crystal contraption device. Very interesting looking. Me and my brother do this when we get drunk on Christmas.
Only on Christmas?
It's one of the only well, not this Christmas, but we did it last Christmas. I don't know what it always comes up during that time, but we got plenty of it on video. And no, you can't see it. All right. So as you get in there, he says, "Please gather around." He goes, "To find this TikTok, we don't have any objects. Who's the closest?" With this individual? He just kind of looks at all of you.
Which individual are we talking about?
Takia.
Takoya.
Takoya.
Takoya. My apologies. They're trying to dump the
Eris
kid on
and I
Takoya.
have met her, and
Wasn't she a part of your
she was
guys'
part
crew
of
for a while?
our party for a little while.
No.
But
session.
Death was the closest to her.
Well, when should we expect this death? Will he be arriving soon?
Working on that.
He goes,
I think he got kidnapped by the same people who took our Gronkum.
I can try messaging him again. I mean, we're on the same plane this time, right? Maybe it was just interference. We've only tried twice.
Maybe.
Can't hurt the
Anyone
try.
can
Maybe he
anyone
was
have
just in that place.
a drawing of this Takoya?
I can alter self to look like her.
There you go.
I'll just do a minor illusion of a smaller version of her, or what she looked like last she saw her.
He kind of looks like, okay, this I can work with. And you watch as he goes over and kind of puts his hand on this smaller crystal to the side of this device as you watch it kind of spin around, and the crystals kind of hum and vibrate. And you watch as the larger one kind of begins to glow as you kind of see like a blurry image of a swamp. And it just kind of like is a shot maybe like 500 feet up above the town of Morrow. Kind of hard to see, but you do recognize the town. You see the library, the town hall, graveyard. Way off in the distance, you see Kern Shack.
So this crystal will allow you to see the location of where someone is?
In the basic sense, yes. Correct. So it looks like your friend, maybe this appears to be. I've never traveled there myself. I'm not really allowed to leave. But that appears to be a swamp as you described.
Outside of Marrow. I recognize the town.
Why aren't
Just
you
not
allowed to
too
leave,
far from it.
Escal?
I was just
Blink-
thinking the same thing. Aren't you
blink
like
twice
super
if you need
powerful
help.
and shit?
It's like, you see, well, roll a persuasion check.
I'm gonna aid her in it.
You cannot aid in this one. You can roll your own, but you cannot aid.
Boo.
That is a 10.
He kind of just like brushes off. Yeah. What do you say, Jasper?
I just look at him with like a really stupid expression and be like, how can you not leave here?
I am of vital importance to the functioning of this location and its histories and a holder of its knowledge. Bad things happen when I go outside, so I don't get to go out anymore. But I like it here.
Do you
I
get
can go-
sunburned really easily?
I can walk and look down at the town from time to time. We have our own small town up here on the perch. We don't have much, but we have enough.
Sounds to me like
I'm
you're
glad to
you're
hear it.
lying.
Roll an insight check.
Insight.
Get the feeling he's telling the truth.
Oh. So like, is it a magical thing that bad happens, or is it just like robbers come in and shit?
I'm better protected here. Let's just say that.
Who are you protected from?
Just from anything, you
Uh,
never know.
Hmm.
Gluten,
Jasper,
shellfish.
sure he has his reasons.
Oh, I hate shellfish too. Gives me the
Did
runs.
you say gluten?
There's lots of dangers out there.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
why
world.
he gets
You
all of his.
need to be careful.
Why? That's why he gets all of his bread gluten free.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, his insight check or his check blows away Jasper's insight check. But
Yeah.
for the most part, he doesn't come off as like an honest individual. He's not lying to you. He's just
It's
he
just
seems
not
very
telling
cautious.
you the
Also,
truth.
he seems like telling you the truth. He just seems like a very cautious individual. Also, from his scarring, you roll an intelligence check, Jasper.
Oh, jeez. Why would you do it in intelligent? Why not Arcana? Can I do an Arcana check?
Intelligence, purely intelligence.
That's okay. In my first edition game I'm playing on Tuesdays,
Boom, straight 10.
I've got an orc that has a 5 charisma, and he's wearing a crown that controls people, and he has to use charisma to do it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper, you think about this awkward behavior. You smell something burning, but you push past it as your brain cells activate. And you think, if you look at the scarring on this individual, you gather probably something very, very bad has happened to this individual in the past. Probably when he'd left at some point.
Mm.
So this crystal will let you observe anyone?
No. And yes. Just kind of depends what we're working with.
Would it let you see Gronkham and Taft?
I could try. Quick question: is this the night before still, or did we rest? Up to you guys. I think I technically rested you.
I imagine since Theris did his seance,
I can do that as a
That's a
ritual.
ritual
prior
though.
to rest.
And Booga came to him, and Arbors talked to him all night.
Yeah, no, technically did. That was a ritual anyway, so it wouldn't use it. So yeah, technically this would be morning. I mean, he's like, I could try. Do you have any of their possessions?
She'll, I guess, hold out or
Ooh.
hold up Saphir since Gronkham's backpack would still be in the other room, I imagine.
One quick thing. My spellcasting intellectuals that would be more intrigued by this device. So probably Tanya, Leah, and Theris. Ari doesn't really use much of the you're much more of a go by the feeling type of caster.
So what do you want us to roll?
Go ahead and roll perception checks for me. Okay. So as the image is kind of fading away from this one as he's kind of getting ready to focus on the other one, you see this bright coloration near Kern's cabin. From what you can make out, it appears to be a larger figure standing next to a medium-sized figure that has bright blue hair. And then it's all right. Who was the other one before the other people? I thought there was one more you wanted.
Deft and Grunkum?
No, there was another one, wasn't there?
Toad Koa?
No, we just looked for Takoi. There was one other person you had asked me to find.
Satesh?
Satesh?
Oh, who's Satesh?
Wasn't that the person that could find Death?
Did you have any of his belongings?
Yeah. No.
Yes, you do.
Well, actually, I guess she does. Just pauses for a moment. Wait. Maybe. She'll pull out the elemental gem. This used to belong to him.
I mean, I could certainly try.
Nothing will happen to it, right?
I don't believe so. Is
Well,
it
that's
extremely
promising.
valuable?
Yes.
Quick note, if it has magical properties, its chances of breaking do seem slim, but no guarantees. Would you still like me to attempt it?
Do you have any waivers to sign or anything? Like
Waiver?
a waiver?
He just kind of like waves.
An insurance policy?
Do you have any insurance?
um,
Guarantee damages?
Well, let me put it this way. I imagine if this were to break, it may kill us all. Are you confident?
Here I feel very confident.
I turn to Jasper and just whisper, "Who let her have something like that? Who let her have that? Kill us all."
Just staring at it intensely. That's all he can do.
He just looks at this too.
Should we run?
When you show it to him, he's just looked very intrigued. And this individual gave it to you, you say?
Sort of.
When you say all, do you mean like all the people in this room, or like everyone in this building, or everyone in this town? What's the magnitude here?
So he doesn't belong to him, or does belong to him? I'm a little confused.
How about we try and find Grunkum and Deft first?
Sure. He goes, any of their belongings?
We got Gronkum's bag.
Grunkum's backpack and belt with all of his stuff are in the other room.
Ooh,
So
let's go through it.
here is his companion. She'll look at Saphira when saying that.
And just kind of like pops out from like, you don't have much clothing for her to hide in, so she's probably just like randomly like kind of scuttling around the room and hiding with people. Probably gonna be honest, for sake of ease of access, she probably is gonna be spending a little bit of time with Tanya. The climb is much shorter.
What is this thing again?
This is Grunkum's non-magical familiar.
It's a pseudo dragon.
Actually,
Okay.
if it dies, it doesn't come back. Here's the thatch. It belongs to him. And are they bonded?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would work very easily, I would imagine. Come here, little thing. and he says something in a language none of you understand. However, some of you would recognize it as Draconic. You've heard Allie speak it a little tiny bit, so you kind of recognize just the structure.
Well, we also heard all of the kobolds and the half dragons and the dragons speak it.
Yeah, because you had that experience with a lot of them too. So you've been around enough. The half dragons were much more attacky instead of talky. But he speaks to it in Draconic, and it kind of just runs over and jumps up on him. And he is going to reactivate it. I'm going to say for this one, Tanya, roll a D100. Don't think I don't see you over there. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Is that
So
bad?
we wanted low.
I don't know. Extremes are
Definitely
always bad.
want low.
He did say, "Oh no," didn't he? So I guess that
Yeah.
means low.
Okay. So as you... Oh, shit. All right. As you kind
All
of
I'm gonna
watch
say is
the
Who just killed
crystal
Saphira?
attempts to focus, it kind of tries to focus around, and you don't really, you're kind of like trying to push past like this thick, like dense fog, it seems like almost. And it's just incredibly hard to try and push past. You see Sphere kind of like whimper as she just seems concerned, not like she's in pain or anything. She's like staring intently at the crystal as well. As you watch, the crystal looks like it almost is beginning to like freeze. And then you see a very blurry vision of an image. Just
are we able to make out any details of said image?
roll an investigation check.
You know what? I'll even go ahead and spend a couple of sorcery points here to get advantage on that.
Sure.
Is that just for Ari or for whoever?
I mean, whoever wants to investigate it.
I imagine for
I'll
everyone.
investigate.
Whew,
Well, it wasn't a one.
worth it,
I
though.
rolled a
Oh,
2.
what is wrong with you people today?
I don't know.
Listen, it's a very like low res picture here. We were expecting
There's-
higher.
There's, bring it back. You gotta roll theirs.
Qualcomm isn't there to inspire them.
Gronkum is not here.
Okay, I'll check. Just investigation.
Just investigation. Better. You kind of look at it, and you just see this form. It's a dark form that's kind of surrounded by white. And you just see, like, every so often, a slight variation in the image near the top of this dark object. As you're watching this, you watch as Saphira is breathing in and out. You're watching as she breathes out. It's almost like she's in extreme cold, and you can see her breath. You can certainly try,
Okay,
Max.
Saphir.
She just seems fixated on the gem at the moment.
Tied for first.
Yeah, you see about the same. No, Theris is ahead.
Oh.
Power rolls.
So let's see.
And then you watch as the image.
How many places would it be that are cold current or like have snow on them in northern Arcadia currently?
If it's in Northern Arcadia, the entire... So, The most northern kingdom is Falkirk, which does exist at this time, which is pretty large. It goes much, much further north. So, like, even where you were competing in the Delve, that's beyond the borders and like the deep northern Arcadia. So, quite a bit, actually, potentially. I would not want to be on a rescue mission by plane. We'll just leave it at that.
So, he must be somewhere north of Lancaster.
But do keep in mind, there are other places other than northern Arcadia in this world, or even Arcadia.
Yeah, I mean, he could be virtually anywhere with snow, but it's a place to start.
No, for sure. Disclaimers, that's all.
Unless he teleported.
Does she know any places that would be within a day's travel
Within a
from
day.
Lancaster that would be covered in snow currently?
I would say between all of your general knowledge of the continent, which would be fair enough, you traveled more, Theris grew up here. Anything even remotely close to what you're talking about is not nearby in the slightest.
Though he must have. He must have teleported somewhere.
He kind of looks, is he, I thought from what my report said he was a fighter, or a, right?
Yes.
He's very proficient with melee weapons.
That's
He was the most proficient of us all.
I wish I could help more. Do you still want to look for this deft fellow in the Sitesh?
Yes.
Ari's gonna pull out the blanket Deft gave her.
Aww.
Okay. Go ahead. You give it to him.
Deft gave me
The
this.
security blanket.
All
Yes.
right. Go ahead. Roll a D100 twice, because you can't roll with advantage. I don't believe.
That's the wrong direction.
That's rough, buddy.
That's more along the right direction.
Got both ends of the spectrum.
I gotta think about this. This is technically the morning.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, we. Oh. Where would we be?
I know exactly where you are, but I also know exactly where
In
you
the
are.
cafeteria eating Cheerios.
Absolutely.
Yes, or the
If
cafeteria.
only.
Trying to think how this would actually work. Trying to go on base on plant. Yeah, no, I don't think it would go through. I'm trying to think if it would show anything. You do have an item. Ooh. Now that's an interesting
Ooh.
concept. Ari,
Mm-hmm.
you aren't able to, like, nothing connects to death as you guys are sitting there and you guys are a little confused, and he kind of starts explaining that something's probably interfering, or maybe that your friend is being hidden by magic. And then you see like a very faint image appear in the crystal. But it seems to be from a first person perspective.
So
take a look. What does this individual seem to be seeing?
It's dark and kind of murky looking. Roll an intelligence check with advantage.
A first person perspective, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's technically, if you had
With
them together,
advantage.
you did what they did. It almost looks like if you have your head underwater, like if you just have your head underwater in the dark, this is a lot of what it would look like. And you see kind of, you make out the image. It looks like there's something kind of obstructing your view, but you see a little bit of light coming from like the ground level.
Okay, so like they've dunked their head into the water or swimming down rather than they are looking up to the sky being held underwater.
It looks like whatever water they're in, this light source is coming from underneath them. How much water they're in or where they
Okay.
are, harder to say.
Does it look like the individual is swimming?
From what you see, you don't see like a lot of movement or anything. It just seems to be kind of staring. And the eyes kind of blink every so often for like 10 seconds or so, and then they'll kind of open up and close.
I'm going to assume then we don't see any body parts of this individual then.
After about 2 minutes, the image just kind of fades out.
Do I know what this is? Probably.
You have no clue.
Being waterboarded.
Deft is not here right now. Leave a message at the tone.
Boop. Has horrible luck, it seems. Maybe we shouldn't attempt this last one.
Did you say maybe we shouldn't, or
He just seems a little distraught by the success of the attempts, or the results you're getting.
thank you for trying though.
He's like, "Oh, I could do it. I'm just worried, with our current luck, that perhaps, who knows."
I don't know, I'm kind of curious.
I'm down for it if you are. I'll be right back in room.
I mean, we gotta try and science the test, right? We gotta. That's the most fun one.
He's also the one that's most likely to be protected.
True. But it would be... I think it would be good, if it does connect.
I'm just worried if something happens to the gem.
Jim is rather interesting. All I'm saying is, this is much too curious. The results so far have not been entirely satisfying.
All right.
Also, as someone with outsider information, this is going to be very awkward if it does go through.
Oh,
I hope it does, though.
All right. So what's the decision?
Leah has convinced her to, at the very least, make the attempt, though Ari will be holding on to the gem itself.
Well, technically, you have to put it like in the little thing, so that technically,
okay.
like it's part of the device. But stay close. Just don't get hit by like one of the spinning, rotating things. So he kind of looks at you, and you just watch as he kind of takes a deep breath.
Before she sets it down, there won't be any negative interactions if there's an entity in this gem, right?
I mean, there's many things in the universe that even I don't understand, but what kind of entity is it?
From my understanding, a very, 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 very powerful elemental.
And kind of like thinks for a second. I mean, cause harm? I think there would be a small, very minute possibility. Set free! Who knows? Lower, but not impossible.
Out of curiosity, Ari's going to look at the gem. Out of curiosity, is she getting any, for lack of better terms, empathic feelings from the gem?
Yep.
Or more specifically, the entity inside of the gem?
It's just warm. It still kind of gets warmer and cooler with proximity to your movement.
Okay. She'll set it down in the device.
Actually, this brings up a fairly good point.
Okay.
I need for you. Well, as you're spending time with your gem right now, just roll a general. What do I want to call this? Roll an intelligence check or a wisdom check. Either one could kind of work for this point.
Wisdom would be better.
Okay. You pull it out. You're not 100% sure. Like, you know where the golden perch should be about. But this gem seems a little bit warmer than it should be. Like, by a lot. Compared to the location it was leading you previously.
Huh. Hold that thought. She's gonna back out of the room or walk out of the room. Does it seem to cool down as she walks away from the crystal?
No. It's not like scorching hot. Like, it's not going to light your bag on fire. You just hadn't been looking at it. But yeah, your movement within the general proximity does not change it. It's like a distance tracker.
Okay. She'll wander back in. And you never know if she was like just on a bracket or something.
And from what the basic history that you did pick up and learn, this would led to some sort of, from the looks of it, from what you remember from the picture, it was some sort of blessing, like an elemental blessing, and you had like this giant chalice imagery from the wall that kind of displayed it where you first found the gem.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe Satesh actually even explained it. You drink out of the chalice, it incinerates you, and then you reincarnate, and far more powerful with fire. Well, there's a chance you'll reincarnate.
He never explained it. That's you guys know it happened because you got to see it happen to Deft, but technically Deft did find this item at one point. But after Deft left you. You, the people, know. You, the players, do, or the characters, do not know.
If you may recall, I only picked up the skull because I rolled such a terrible investigation check. I did not actually find that gem.
Yep. Ari found the gem,
Ari found the gem.
and that's where Death first found her Lord and Savior.
And that's where it all went wrong.
Excuse. I'm telling.
So she'll set the gem down in the device.
All right. This one's a flat D100. So I'll tell you one thing before you do it, though. So, oh, there it goes.
I already dropped it in the chat.
Fair enough. Okay. It's like, oh yeah, speaking of the gem. So you watch the gem begin to vibrate. You get a little bit concerned at first, the red one. And then it kind of like stops and kind of begins to like kind of float and hover as it like spins ever so slightly.
I
had you there for a second though.
Is that supposed to happen?
Happen? And you just keep staring at the gem above. As you look through, you see from a first person's perspective again. You see an individual walking with a bunch of troops.
Are the troops in the colors of the cult or a different?
That they are. They are in the colors of the cult. And you kind of just watch as it makes its way through the ranks. Kind of haphazardly, like it doesn't really give a care about any of the other ones. And then you see another image appear. And you kind of just see this lower perspective looking up at the same soldiers. Another perspective. A little bit taller. Another one. Looking down from the air. You see 5 different perspectives as you're watching this gem. And then it cuts out after like 30 seconds.
All right, I'll head over and pick up the gem.
Pick it up. Still the same temperature. No damage.
It's warm.
You got real close.
Is it a 50-50?
Pretty much. Had you rolled under a 10 or under, that would have been amazing. But
5 perspectives, you say?
5 different perspectives, points of view.
5
Not
perspectives.
like 5 actual perspectives. Like
5 of them.
Not 5 of the actual PC perspective.
5 of them, you say?
Yes, 5 of them, I say.
Must have cast mirror image a couple of times then.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The place where the soldiers were, that place look familiar at all, or?
There was a lot of soldiers. It was really hard to make with the limited range of this thing, even though it's more than you would typically get with like a scrying, potentially. You just see thousands and thousands of soldiers, all marching.
Would you say approximately
they're actively
10,000
marching.
soldiers,
Okay.
maybe? Just an estimate?
Much more than that.
Oh.
All in cult guard.
Wait a minute.
Looks like
Hang on.
it's attachment.
Only one perspective was from the air. Everything else is on the ground. I would say within the 30 seconds they were up, I will let you guys either roll an investigation check or a perception check. Or if you have some other check you'd like to make, you can before you roll, and I can figure out what you
Hoo-hoo.
I hate you so much. So as you kind of look through, you do from the different points of view, you're able to kind of piece this together pretty quickly. You tapped into the wrong Satesh.
Nice.
Or at least this is the result you got. Awkward thing of note that you pick up on immediately based on your amazing investigation roll. With how you've watched this work and you're familiar with this type of magic, although maybe not to this level, this is not the result this yields. It is literally showing you a singular individual. Somehow these 5 points of view are all connected. And you do see, from the aerial point of view, you see amongst the soldiers, you see a tiefling kind of dancing his way around the troops. You see a smaller halfling and gnome and dwarf all kind of walking, flanking his sides, and a human walking in front of him with 8 arms. Actually, no. The dwarf is up in the air. Sorry.
It's Evil Satesh and the Test Tube Wizards. Got it.
Yep. Correct. And you kind of describe what you saw. You don't specifically know this, but as you kind of do, you collectively put together, you're like describing the scene. From what you guys make out collectively, they seem to be heading south.
I was actually about to ask what the name of that town was again that they're planning on attacking.
Which one?
Mora.
You know, not that one.
The one where the king is, I believe.
Oh, that one? I can tell you. Hold on. Where'd it go? I have the yellow book out. I had it ready because I knew someone would ask. That is the lands of Lord Unzar. Unzar. Technically, King Unzar.
They're going to Unzar. You said that was the evil Satesh?
From what you guys were able to pick out and kind of describe, because you did actually have a lot of interactions with this individual too. You would actually probably be the most familiar with the description. It sounds spot on, like the individual you flew with on the bird.
Okay. So, we both Sateshes have connection to the gem? Huh.
Esco kind of looks like, I would need to have more information.
She'll conjure up an image of the two different Tashes standing side by side.
Neither of them look
They're
familiar.
both powerful wizards that share a name.
Yeah, you call them both Satesh,
Somehow-
though. They must be connected.
How many of these guys are there? You're like, how many? The Tesh 1, 2, Alpha, Beta?
You want to know what, Jasper? For your dumb luck, go ahead and roll a
4.
persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Persuasion, just for pure goddamn dumb luck.
Come on. Ooh.
You mentioned that. He's like, well, at least there's only 2 of them. God forbid he ends up as many swords as we have.
I just
Why do you
blankly stare
have-
at him.
Why do you have so many swords?
Do you not know?
I don't know, Soren, no.
Which one?
Or any of them?
Oh. This might take more
I know there
time
was-
than we have right now to explain. Perhaps this evening. I need to get a few books out to explain this to you.
Oh, joy.
Do the books have pictures?
So,
Sure.
I like picture books.
And Eska likes you, Jasper. And Eska likes you. What were you going to ask her?
so Grunkum has been teleported somewhere cold. Deft is underwater. And
Horribly, I assume.
I'm not saying shit.
and Sitesh, she'll gesture towards the image of the evil Sitesh, is leading an army to march on Uzel.
Do you believe this is linked to the red exploding wisp?
That does make sense.
I really wish I could hold the child, but quite honestly, I really need to stay out of this politically. But I will gladly lend you any aid. I mean, you're free to use our shop some. Is there anything that you need? I mean, I'll help you as best I can, and oh, I forgot to tell you, your transport should be here later this evening as well. Soren was a little bit busy, so he had arranged for one of the operatives from Gangmaster's special forces to come and pick you up.
Tanya's gonna raise her hand and say, "If any of you guys need something built, any magical items, I could probably do it. Just need to get me the materials."
A helpful child.
You are a very interesting child. How are you so learned?
Tinkering.
You're a tinkerer? I have a friend who used to be a tinkerer.
Tanya's
Tell me. Hold on 1 second. And you watch as he kind of like goes, he's like, I'll tell you what. Meet me at dinner tonight. I have something I think will interest you. But other than that, transport is being provided by Doncaster. Is there anything you need? Provisions? We'll lend as much aid as we
give
can.
us an hour to. Thank you for all the help you've given
Perhaps,
us,
would you like me to escort
give
you
us
down
an
to the
hour
town?
to.
Jasper needs some better
If
weapons.
we could give.
So he'll just very quickly kind of
If
show
we
you.
could.
There's a lift that goes down to the town that's in Golden Perch. You guys could go there freely. It's guarded around the town. You're not sure how you get in and out of the town itself, but you can probably figure that out. Or you can stay. Go ahead, Ari.
If you would give us an hour or so to collect ourselves and decide where we're going to go and what we may need.
Well, feel free. I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be right here.
half smiles and wanders out of the room. Probably towards the main
Eskel will leave at this
dining
point.
area.
As Eskel is leaving, you hear a small voice. Like, can Tanya play? Like, small
Yep.
one. And he like awkwardly looks back at you guys, not sure what to tell him.
Give me a
I mean,
second. I'll come play in a little bit.
He goes, excellent, and you just watch Eskel like hobble off as quick as possible.
Hobble, that guy's burning dimension door scrolls. He's out of there.
He teleports away. All
This
right.
is your problem now?
What are you guys up to? What do you want to do? I'm just leaving.
Shopping.
Yeah, so there is shops. I haven't given you guys shops in a long time, so you could kind of look for whatever you want to look for. Actually, I don't need anything.
Ari is currently sat at the, this would be the dining table? Meeting table? War table? Whichever table we were.
Yeah, you have some general tables. It's easy enough to kind of find something. There's like a little mini war room that's kind of off to the side you can occupy, which is where you were previously. So you get all of your party in there. Other than Tanya, or Tanya going to go after your meeting? Play now or play later?
I'll go. Well, I told him in a little bit, so I'll go after a little chat.
Okay, powwow first. All right, so everybody is in the room currently.
So I'm basically gonna let everyone know that I can make any common or uncommon item in about a quarter of the time and half the cost as usual gold is.
Ooh.
That is rather helpful.
I'm gonna take off my boots and say I made these, and the boots are flying.
What? They look exactly like Grompo's boots, but smaller.
I want boots like that.
Is it restricted to physical used items such as boots, or can you do scrolls as well?
I don't know, how does it work?
Add a
How
character.
does it work, DM? I don't know how.
Scrolls are not really your forte. That's more of a wizard type thing. But yeah, you can enchant objects. Obviously, like you can also enchant items to give to your party for certain spells. So you can enchant it so they can use that ability. You just got it.
That's actually that was another thing I was thinking of. If I could bunch my stuff with the actual item and I could swap up my infusions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it really just depends on what infusions you pick. Because there's a lot that are really handy for party members. There's some that are really good for you. It just depends. Like the one you gave to Theris.
Also,
You can totally replace that if you want to.
Nope. That one stays permanently with theirs.
Add a character speaking. Did anyone else, when Theris went to ask, think he was going to ask, can you make souls?
I was wondering too the whole time. I was like, no one's asking about the kid. I'm like, all right. No one wanted to know anything about the kid.
Hey,
And then Terry's just like, should we bring the kid back right now? I was like, God damn it.
Wow, if we all want to be serious here, the safest place for the kid would be inside Ceres's gem.
I don't disagree.
The kid's soul, not his physical body.
Hey, it's relative what we're trying to keep intact here.
Now, if we could, if I knew we haven't replaced a soul yet, we were going to take the paladin, Sir Edward, to his people.
Correct.
But now, if I ever figure out to do that, then yeah, that's a great way to like smuggle people.
Now this is all out of character, correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. Because otherwise, Ari would have something to.
So yeah, so it's basically any magical item that is uncommon or common.
Can you make a bag of holding?
He can't. He has one.
Yes. I have
Those
one.
bags of holding.
Oh, I thought you made a bag of
Please.
holding.
No, we never made it then because I
Oh,
used
you probably
my.
changed. Oh, you found out Gronkum had one, and you're like, no, I don't need a bag of holding.
No, you're the one that told me Gronkum has one,
Hey.
so we don't really need it.
Yeah, well,
does not have a
unfortunately,
bag of holding.
technically, Ari has the bag of holding. So you still have a bag of holding. You just don't have the Gronkum attached to it.
Did Gronk get a bag of holding? I thought just Deft got a bag of holding.
No, Gronk? Oh, no, correct. Thank you. It's just a bag.
It's
A
just
very,
a bag.
very heavy
So what
bag.
you're saying is Deft ran off with our gold and our bag of holding.
I didn't run off with the gold.
And technically, this is Gronkum's handcrafted, custom-made from Emily's father in Maro bag. That's why I can hold so much.
We could turn that into a bag of
It's
holding.
heavy though. You probably are very uncomfortable holding this. You probably want to pass this off to like Max or Jasper or someone with strength.
Oh, that's still out on the table. She's lugging it around.
I
I
pick
go
up
pick
with
it
one
up.
arm.
Should be Gronkum's heavy haversack.
Hey, he can name it whatever he wants. He had it commissioned. It's not magical, but this is what he made out of those giant crocodiles that we killed on our way tomorrow. When the little grifter kid was trying to sell you boat rides. Memories.
What's in that sack?
We needed to turn that bag into a bag of holding.
There is in that bag.
Keep in mind, you didn't throw the quiver, only the bag.
No, the quiver was in the bag.
He threw his entire belt.
You put the quiver in the bag?
Actually, hold on.
Quiver would have been on your back.
No, belt.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, no, you're right.
You were shoot arrows, right?
No, that final battle, Gronkum did not shoot.
Yeah, it holds both. But you remember the quiver holds arrows, bolts, and it has several compartments for storage.
Yeah. No, Gronkum still has the quiver.
But in the bag had the gems and the money. Oh wait, no. Does it have the gem and the money, or would the money have been in the? We'll say it's in the bag for the sake of not fucking everybody over for a second.
No, Gronkum put all in that bag.
You had time too.
Yeah,
We talked about this.
The adamantine great axe, the adamantine scimitar, scales and teeth. Let's see.
Yeah, it's all on the party sheet.
Caltrap.
Yeah.
It's in there. We have it.
Oh, belt of fire strength, bolt of fire bolts.
No,
Fire's
added straight. That's him.
Ollie has the belt, unless she put it in the shop.
Did you take your belt off?
Yeah, he took the belt off.
Yeah, he took the belt off and dropped it as well. She
Gronkum currently only has 19 strength.
So did you drop any of your other items, or just the belt?
Just
if you were flying.
Jasper wants that belt very badly.
Your belt.
That's up to Ari to discuss whether or not she has that belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have all that stuff. The money. It is very, very heavy, though. Like, so even the weapons are, like, kind of sticking out of the bag. Like, he's got it strapped on. And, like, it looks like the most annoying Boy Scout you could ever imagine pack this thing. There's no extra room in this bag whatsoever.
Yeah, there's 50 feet of pimping ropes hanging off of one side, a shovel on the other one. Across the back is strapped the scimitar. Inside of the bag with the head sticking out is the axe. Along the bottom is a bunch of gold, platinum pieces, and a bunch of assorted gems. Then there's also the caltrop just sitting in there. There's a longbow in there, and a set of half-plate armor.
I love backpacks.
So much stuff.
Jesus Christ. whole set of
You
armor.
guys do
Yeah, Gruntham was
know
carrying all of that and still had
Grunthams
enough strength to carry another like 400 to 500 pounds.
You do, but your bag can't necessarily fit it all.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. He had a bag, which was, I think I calculated at
I thought you were wearing your half plate though. Oh no, you have different armor
I have split. I'm wearing splint.
Yeah.
I never could get rid of the half plate, so Grunkham's just been carrying it around.
now. I forgot.
Nobody wanted to buy it, so bad.
All right, so
You guys do know Gruntham is not dead, right?
Well, yeah, but if he's not
He's
using
not
this
gonna
stuff,
be gone forever.
Yeah, everything in that bag was stuff Grunkham did not use.
other than that,
there's definitely some upgrades for me in there.
just one.
Couple. A half plate.
No, half plate for you, really?
Half-
AFK
Anyway.
just a minute.
He doesn't even want the half plate. That's like old shit.
I'm
Base
wearing a
level.
breastplate.
I think the kid technically has better armor than you do.
Probably. I only have 16 AC.
You don't need AC.
I think all my armor is like base. I have scale mail.
Oh, you're probably equivalent then. All right. So, anything else you want to discuss in your powwow? Were you gonna go buy some shit? What do you guys want to do?
Tanya's flat broke. But Tanya's gonna give her the list of materials. Tanya's gonna give them the list of materials needed for a bag of holding or to make.
Okay. Are you gonna swap out one of your things, or are you actually gonna try to make a bag of holding?
I'm just gonna try and make a bag of holding. It's uncommon, and it takes a quarter of the time and half the cost.
But you have to remember the cost is not necessarily what it says on the book.
I would assume the cost of making is usually cheaper than the cost of buying.
Oh, but those costs have nothing to do with what the actual costs in our world are. Let's see. To make a bag of holding. Also, the time. You might want to look at that. This isn't something you can do very quickly, even with your enhanced speed. This is something that takes a long time to do.
I don't know how much time it takes per.
Your own personal one that you can do with your abilities, it's a little bit different. But if you actually want to make like an actual bag of holding,
This quarter thing and thing is all about crafting an actual one, not my infusions.
no, I know. You still get the bonus, so it's 25% less time. I'll have to get you an answer on that one too, but it's going to take you a bit of time to do it. I'll find that out for you. I'll get you something. Yeah, you can definitely do it. Cost-wise, how much money do you have?
I'm broke, so.
You think if you might not be able to afford this to begin with. Unless someone wants to front you or the party wants to front you. But it's possible.
Yeah, because right now all my infusions are actually being used, so.
Those infusions are pretty cool.
Well, we need a bag of holding.
Yeah, I just figured the bag of holding would be for the party.
Or you could always try to buy one too, potentially. Up to
Well,
you.
we gotta
You can,
go down
you
in
can
the
make
town.
one, you can buy one.
Yeah, I want to look for any scrolls or ritual scrolls that I'm missing.
Sure. So there's not a lot in the town, but there are a few places. They do have an inn. They don't get a whole lot of visitors, but they do have one. They have. Where'd it go? They have like a general store. They have an alchemy shop. They have like a higher tier item store, and then they have a magic shop.
I'm just gonna mention, it's been so long since we've been to a normal, safe place. As we're walking around town, I will be taking my dog for a walk.
All right, so you're gonna throw it out.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you watch as Leah retrieves a small figurine from her pouch or backpack, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
And you just watch she tosses it on the ground as a dog appears in front of her.
Hello, Henry.
Jasper instantly runs up to the dog and starts.
Why, hello, Miss Leah.
What?
Yeah, he talks.
Fall in my butt. How does your dog talk?
I use words.
Dog is talking dog. No big deal. We've
Have
got some
you been a
catching up to
talking
do, my
dog before?
friend.
No.
It's been some time.
I
How is your mother?
saw a talking cat once.
Or,
Rude.
Disregard that for
sorry.
now. I talk to my dog and I catch him up on like how it's been going.
Okay, you watch.
And everybody sees me have a very normal conversation with a dog. And it's great.
Completely 100% normal conversation. Two old friends catching up.
Looked at
There's what scrolls are you looking for? Anything
I'm also looking for a scroll.
I'll have to look through. I'm not sure which ones.
Okay, so feel free. You both can kind of look through those. Let me know if there's something specific you're wanting to look for.
Okay.
I am looking for enlarge, reduce, and knock.
Okay. As you kind of look around, you do get directed. There's not the magic store isn't so much a store as it appears to be like a wizard himself of some sort, or an enchanter. It would seem. His name is Toro Gez. So you kind of, who else is going? Just the two of you, or anyone else?
I'm
And
following them, but I'm looking for weapon merchants.
Weapon merchant wise, that would be a different place. This is more specific, like magical supplies and scrolls type things. Not even necessarily magical items, maybe a few. You would probably want more the higher tier item store or the general store. So the two of you, anyone else? Make your way towards there. It looks like a very, very old building. They have numerous scrolls and books and just like racks and stacks of all sorts of different materials. Kind of like, yes, be right up. You hear a deep voice coming from the back as you watch a Minotaur wizard walk out from the back. Slightly
Epic.
smaller than your average Minotaur, but bigger nonetheless.
I respect it.
Yes, may I help you?
Hello, we are looking for some scrolls, I do believe.
And you explain to him kind of what you're attempting to do and look for.
Yes.
Yes, I believe I can assist you with those. You watch as he kind of like goes, and he's got a very sturdy ladder for these, and he kind of goes and grabs a few different things. So he's like, I believe this would do it. Ah, yes. Yes. This is the formula for the knock spell as requested. It is how about 115 gold pieces?
Does that sound like a lot? I don't know how much money's worth.
Up to you. You
How
don't
much,
know.
how much gold piece?
He's attempting to sell it for 115 currently.
115 or 150?
115.
Okay. I look to Theris. Is that a lot?
Does that sound good to me or no?
Roll an insight check.
Just a spoiled rich kid from another dimension here. No big deal.
Like, how many of my platinum do I give him? I give him the whole pouch?
He said, which check?
He said 115 for knock.
No, but which check?
Oh, sorry, insight.
All right.
Damn it, my mouse isn't wanting to drag.
Oh, natural one.
Oh.
As you are not familiar with the knock spell, you have no idea.
That sounds
You've heard of it,
reasonable.
but you haven't really specifically studied it. It's not something you know how to do yourself. It's like the one class you skipped in Kane.
I want to now, but I can make an educated guess by what from learning the scrolls that I do, because it's usually 50 gold per spell level if it's your specialty, 100 if not. So I don't think that's a bad price.
That is to learn it, not to buy it.
Right.
Seems reasonable enough to me. And what about the other one?
Enlarge. By God's names, what would you want to enlarge? Never mind. I don't need to know.
I just have a friend of mine. He's got some confidence issues. He's working through
200,
it.
200 gold. 200 gold. Friend, you said
Deal.
210.
Deal.
Damn it, 200. All right, so 315 gold total. So there's the scroll of enlarge reduce. So just say it's for the reduction. We all know. And not
Should be a random cast.
you actually did get a fair enough deal. It's just book-wise alone, the knocks go for about 115 to about 275, depending on which book you wanted. So you got the lower spectrum of the deal.
I have 19 platinum remaining.
All right, but you do have those. Downside, you still do need the materials to
I am aware.
commitment. Excellent. All right. There's anything you're looking for?
I'm trying to go through the.
All right, so you can take your time. We'll just say that you were here at some point. Jasper. What are you looking for, big guy?
I want to smash things better. Or be more protected. Or a health potion will work too.
How much money you got?
I got 0. I was a slave and you guys never gave me anything.
Well, it's not like Jasper has we've earned any money since we got Jasper.
That's exactly true. So you sit there and you walk up to a store and you're like, I want that, and I want that,
Yeah,
and I want that. And they're like, that will be 3,000 gold pieces. And you're like, what? And you sadly walk out.
I walk away.
But you could go ask that nice, weird little fellow with all the scars. He did offer to help you guys out.
Ooh, that's right. I will go up to Escol and I will ask him, money, please.
He is not available until dinner, unfortunately. And he will not give you money. But he may have stuff he could let you guys have.
Help me.
That free stuff out of Brocken's bag is looking a lot better now, isn't it?
I want that stuff.
All right. So, what else are you guys looking for?
Well, who does have the bag, actually? Is it still Ari, or did Max grab it?
As far as I know, it's still sitting on the table.
On the table.
I'm going to look at that bag, and I'm going to start looking through it.
It's just
You
got all
see
the
a
Runs all the
shiny
way down to
axe.
the shops. Realizes he doesn't have any. Runs all the way back up to the library.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, here's
It's
one
got
definitely. Do they have telepathic bond?
Ooh,
It's got a weird smell to it. Kind of old meat smell.
No,
My
that's
favorite.
the other bag that Gorkum still has.
Oh,
He took your meat pouch.
he kept the meat bag.
I'm just picturing some of the
Take
confusion
the meat
for the
bridge.
shopkeeper. She wants enlarge reduce and a knock spell, and he wants telepathic bond.
Some kinky S&M shit going on.
Telepathic bond is interesting.
I have to.
Look, it's like I believe I could do such. It may take me a couple of hours to transcribe. Could you come back later this afternoon, perhaps?
Sure.
Like that would be, and he kind of like flipping through. It is quite expensive, though.
I would expect so.
It's like let's see.
That'd be right.
Oh, that's a huge difference. Let's see. Hold on. I can look this up too. He looks 1,200 gold.
I look at what's left in my coin pouch.
Yeah, I don't have that much. Got 760.
The party technically in platinum has that much, but it's also in platinum. That
Do
is
you
a cool
think-
spell, though.
If you think we'll need the spell, I can certainly.
Well,
I could use it, but
it only lasts an hour, but doing so, I can allow our entire group basically to telepathically communicate with each other, or at least up to 8 people.
within 30 feet, though.
Communication is possible over any distance, though it cannot extend to other planes.
Oh.
The 30 foot is casting it on people within 30 foot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you could be on the other side of the planet and we could telepathically talk.
Interesting.
I think you could even be on another plane of existence, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it says it can't extend to other planes.
You could have one of you get vanished real quick and find out. Just don't let it last the full duration. All right. Anything else you guys want to look for?
I'm
Or
going
do-
through that bag.
I'm assuming Tanya goes and fulfills her promise to go play.
Oh, I need paper and ink as
After
well.
everyone. You
Thirst,
could also
do you have any
get the
paper and
magical,
ink?
Unless the
magical papers.
If
So
we can't afford
whatever
that
it
one,
is.
Phantasmal Phantom Steed also.
Phantom Steed.
That's a 3rd level.
Da, 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 da. He looks at that. I do believe, yes, I believe I have one of those. That will be 80 gold pieces.
Is it 80?
80.
I can do that.
The nice scroll case he pulls out, slides it forward. So that is the scroll of Phantom Seed.
It's so much cheaper. It's 80 a lot cheaper than 115. No anymore.
Do you also want an imaginary horse?
No.
Well, there you go. Jasper's playing dress up.
Yes, he is.
So funny thing too, you don't know what the belt does.
It looks fancy.
Taking my great axe
theory,
home.
though. The good question is, without knowing the properties of this belt, what would it affect to a half giant? I'll have to think about this.
Did Ari put the belt in the bag?
I have no idea.
I imagine she probably would have rested the belt on top of the bag.
That's probably what drew his attention.
Yep.
Shiny!
Pretty. Doesn't it look like a wrestler, like a wrestler's belt?
It's pretty big.
Like big things.
You don't feel any different at the moment, but you put it on. Okay. Anything else you guys are looking for?
Paper ink. I might need to steal some money from the party sheet though.
Your guys' money, you guys figure it out. But yeah, all that stuff's a cost. There's no markups on like the paper type stuff. That is clearly defined and makes sense. Do keep in mind though, if you're a wizard, certain of your spells may be at half cost, so you might not need as much.
Those are both transmutation. Nah.
All right then. So you guys go about. Later in the afternoon, you do see Eskel kind of come down, maybe probably like 3 o'clock, and he kind of like finds some of you that are distracted. And I'm just like, oh, your transportation has arrived. I just wanted to let you know, and dinner, if you're still around, will be at 6 o'clock. Did you
Thank
guys
you,
find
Eskel.
everything you're looking for?
I think so.
I'm gonna ask him if he has any.
You're not there. You're up top. He's down
Oh,
below.
sorry.
Okay.
Did I get my paper and ink?
Yeah, whatever you need to buy. You get that from the Minotaur.
Cool. I'm gonna steal coins from the bag because it's just out on the table.
This bag is being pillaged by everybody.
How much would that be?
I don't know. Whatever Tanya and William didn't take.
Oh,
Were we
look
wanting
it
to
up.
spend the money for that one or no?
It's 50 gold per spell level, unless you specialize in that school and you get a half off.
Okay, so
And 1 hour per level also.
200 total.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
As you're playing, you watch as this blonde woman walks out into kind of the courtyard and just like waves at both of you.
Tanya will wave back.
She goes, "Hi, my name's Tanya. What's your name?"
Wait, That's my name.
Your name's Tanya too? Awesome.
Well, that's it, Dark. You're now Tanya too. You accept it.
It's like, are your mom and dad around?
No.
Oh, no, you're the old kid, right?
The old kid? What?
The old.
Disregard. Like, pleasure to meet you. Where are the rest of your friends?
I think they went shopping.
Oh, well, that's highly inconvenient. I think we're supposed to leave tonight, correct? Do you guys have all your things ready?
I have no idea. I have all my things.
And she kind of like looks at the kid. Is that? He's just like half cocked head, like freezes. Looks at you, looks at the kid, looks at you, looks at the kid, looks back at you.
Gonna say I don't remember the kid's name.
We'll talk about this later. So as you watch the two kids walk in with another Tanya, probably about 5'8", 5'7".
Tanya's
Blonde
gonna introduce Tanya.
like, hi.
She's our transport.
Yes. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm new, so don't mind me. Are you all ready to go?
This is
I-
around like 3 o'clock, right, Nobel?
I think we're staying for dinner because the guy's supposed to show me something.
Oh.
He said it would be really interesting.
I mean, if you want to wait, I guess we could wait. They are kind of waiting for us, though, but we probably have enough time. All right, so you guys wait for dinner? Or
I let the prince play with Henry while he's up.
Okay. So you guys kind of take your time. You eventually do get to dinner. Tanya, as you guys are kind of eating and hanging out, the other Tanya kind of tells you guys that she is a new member of the Gaincaster Special Forces team, even she's known as the Shining Force. And kind of tells you that, she was recruited by Clayton, who is currently leading the force, and Sir Astral, who you've not seen in a while. You didn't actually get a chance to find him. Kind of just goes on and on and on. Doesn't have a whole lot of experience. Just basically talks most of the way through dinner. You guys finish dinner. Tanya, Esco walks over to you and kind of slides a little box across the table.
Tanya's gonna take the box and slowly opens the lid.
Doesn't trust me at all. You kind of open the lid and you look inside.
Yep.
You see a little metal ball.
Any idea what it does?
One intelligence check. Not a fucking clue.
Tan's gonna look up. So what does it do?
I'm not 100% sure how it works. It belonged to a gnome friend of mine, but it's not really my field of expertise. But when he used to use it, it used to follow him around and help. It was more or less a floating weapon for him.
Tan's gonna have her cat come. You mean a play thing?
No, and he's gonna grab it. He's like, I did show me how I could do one thing with it. He used to do a lot more, but and you watch as he kind of holds the ball, and you watch as he focuses, it kind of floats up out of his hand, and then he looks forward, it just shoots like into the wall.
Tan's gonna look at it wide-eyed.
And then you watch as it returns back to the hand.
Now, Nobel, clarification. When you say it shoots into the wall, do you mean it just collides with the wall and then kind of bounces off, or does it leave a small ball-sized hole in the wall?
Oh, it leaves a small-sized hole in the wall. It doesn't go all the way through the wall, but it makes a nice chunk of it.
Tanya looks at it excitingly now.
Maybe that's something you shouldn't be doing in here.
Tanya goes to pick up the ball then?
Okay, here, and hold it like this. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check. You rolled a natural 20.
Ooh.
So you kind of sit there and you don't quite have the motion for it yet. So your first go about, you're like, huh, and you just watch this ball just through the wall, bam, and you can just kind of watch this crack kind of form down the wall, and then you pull it back out through the wall, and you kind of like stop it in front of where the crack is.
Tanya's gonna look like she did something wrong.
As you feel that way, you watch as you channel. Let me double check. Pretty sure. Yeah. You watch as your ball starts to mend the wall. He
Tanya's
kind of
gonna,
looks at you. Well, that's different.
this thing's amazing. Tanya's gonna
You'll have
pull
to
out.
play with it more, but I've never. It does require attunement. So.
Okay.
I just let you quickly because it's fun.
Are you giving this to me?
I can't use it. I can just make it hit the wall.
Thank you.
Like, I hope it serves you better than its former master. It's a brilliant inventor. Didn't live very long though.
So, well, Tanya's gonna, after she's ready, take the ball aside and just start messing with her Tinker tools and stuff to investigate it.
Fair enough.
Look, Jasper, once again.
You see Jasper just like fully decked out in like all this random. He looks like it's pretty awesome looking. He looks like he belongs in like a wrestling organization.
I was gonna mention how people just give children weapons here, but you seem pleased.
Very pleased with myself, yes.
This is normal.
As you guys go ahead, you eat your dinner, you do manage to talk. As you do get ready to go, Esco will just kind of like, I will miss you all so much. I hope you do have good luck on your journey.
Thank you, though. Where exactly are we going?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not your ride. Ask the blonde.
looks over to the larger Tanya.
Oh, aren't you guys going to save the Southern Kingdom?
Were we?
That's what Soren said. To take there. That's where we have the headquarters. It's pretty cool. It's not as cool as the headquarters at the capital, I hear, but it's not bad. The food's okay too. Keeps eating.
I like food.
Eats a lot of food for such a thin. Not sure what the race is. Human looking.
I thought Soren was worked with this library.
Looking back over towards I can't remember his name. The dragon.
Let's go.
I don't know. Clayton just said that we had to come get you.
Doesn't Soren work here?
I don't know. I don't work for Soren. All I know is that the Soren guy said that I'm supposed to come get you here and bring you there.
She's looking at the Dragonborn. Keep forgetting his name.
Esco.
Esco?
Esco.
I don't know. I don't currently have anything that he's helping with. He does not work for me. He just is a friend.
Oh, so he's not neutral then in this endeavor.
Oh, him? He would say so, but I would disagree. It just really depends on which one you ask.
Rallying forces to face invading army does not sound neutral.
He's like, which one do you know again? I always forget.
Are they numbered or something? Do we have? Should we be able to differentiate them?
Don't know. Next time I see him, I'll make
the
a
one that reunited mirror one.
And he just kind of looks at you curiously. Yeah, they all look different. I guess you could call them brothers, for lack of a better term. He's like, oh, yes, hold on. And he watches, he kind of like pulls out this book. And he starts flipping through it. He's like, you see, interesting story. It's like, once upon a time, before the deities were sealed away, there's a supposed being that we call the Prime Deity. At some point during time, and it could not quite be documented before my records, this individual split itself into 6 different beings. One of these beings happened to be an entity related to what you would call something similar to your Soren. This individual, through years and years of study, also learned how to perform this separation, thus creating what you would know as the many different forms of Soren. I believe you know the firstborn, secondborn, I'm not sure. I always get those two confused.
So, wait, Soren is an ancient celestial being that learned how to split itself, and he's one of those fragments that learned how to also split itself?
Now that you say it like that, it does sound rather complex, but yes.
When you first pulled out that book, I was convinced you were about to say, and here I've got the Encyclopedia of Sorens. Here we can pinpoint which Soren is yours.
Well, I can tell you the ones that I know about.
Can you give like a guesstimate of how many there are?
I've met 15 of them. Although
15.
One did just die. I've never actually met the actual one. He does not remain on this plane.
Wait.
Yes, the original is still alive.
Soren is just one of the 6 fragments. Who are the other 5?
No. So they've been created at different times. I know of 15 different ones.
No,
However, one
the
has
fragments
died.
of the original.
Oh, of the original? No, that's the prime deity. Only one of those actually formed into what is known as Sorn. The others. Ooh, do I have this book? Hold on.
Yes, who are the others?
It kind of goes through. I may not have that book. I have that one. All right, I think that was just. I'll have to look more. This book is specifically on Sword, or the entity that spread off from that.
So you do have the Encyclopedia of Soren right there.
No, that's literally what this book is. It's all about swords. So you watch as he kind of flips through. The first image you see is your sword.
Okay.
And he flips the page. One you don't really recognize. He flips a couple of pages. You recognize on page 7 your dead friend Burrs.
Or what?
The
Oop.
alchemist with the shop
Ah.
that died.
That made that amazing
Wait.
bolt that never got used.
That was a sword.
That was the sword?
You flip through a couple pages. You don't recognize a lot of these individuals. They all seem similar in some ways, but they look different. You kind of go through and you don't get a lot of detail. Like he's just kind of showing you the pictures at the moment. He's not giving you like the detailed entries on each of them. Page 12. You also recognize this individual. It's Zayax.
I have a question for you then, Nobel.
Mm-hmm.
So, since Grunkum is feebled-minded, that's his intelligence 1-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if an item will bring his intelligence up to 19? Which one will win out on the effect?
I don't know. If you ever find him and you find an item that can do it, let me know.
I believe it would be the item that, because it, I can't
I
look at the
don't
modules.
think it would actually counteract it with a magic item. The spell will probably take precedent.
I don't know. I mean, ultimately it is DM call, but
Yeah, because even if like you did that, more than likely to someone who even had one of the natural 19 items, it would most likely reduce you down. Considering the level of the spell, it would potentially, but I would say it would have to be a pretty fucking magical item that counteract a level 7 spell. Or level 8, level 7?
Well, it is.
well, no,
does
that's part of it. It wouldn't completely counteract the spell, because theoretically speaking, they would still not be. They would still be under the effect of people.
Yeah, it would reduce them beyond it.
So they're like if
higher level magical item, like artifact level.
Yeah, I'm just because it's. I know it's. It takes a level 10 artificer to replicate the magic.
Mm-hmm.
my thought process would be like, for example, a headband of intelligence that sets your intelligence to 19.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Theoretically speaking, their charisma score would still be a 1, and they would still
be 1.
You know,
also 1 lower level magic. Doesn't affect anything.
Feeble Mind is an 8th level spell.
It's a fucking high level spell.
I know that Gronk has been hit by that 3 times now.
Nope, Gronk has only been hit by it once.
I'm pretty sure he's been feeble 3 times, hasn't he?
Feeble Mind has only happened twice in our campaign. The first person to ever be feeble-minded was Abasa during the Dark Elf fight.
That
He
was
got
fun.
a different intelligence save applied against him that kind of knocked him out for a bit, but it was not feeble-minded. You're thinking of when Beardo
I know
got.
Grunkum's been in.
Yeah, different spell.
Yeah, I've only feeble-minded. We've only had feeble-mind happen twice.
Okay. I thought he was feeble-minded when he encountered the his name might have been Beardo, the dwarf that
No,
he
that was
apparently
just
upset.
it was an intelligence save, but it wasn't feeble-minded. Different ability.
Okay.
Yeah, feeble-mind's a bitch. Now that you think about it too, and this would only really kind of connect the dots for Theris and Ari, because I don't think anyone else is technically even alive from the party at that point. You can think back. Zayax killed Burrs.
Mm-hmm. So
If Deft were here, he would be
Soren.
having some thoughts about that.
Yeah, so he kind of explains the general gist of you.
Is
Only one of the other Sorens has learned how to split himself, which is yours. Additional point of note that he does mention to you, your Soren has learned a magic that not even the original Soren has learned.
Oh?
For some reason, the firstborn can use time magic. Now, eventually he'll
Mhm.
die and he'll return to the primary, but I've never been able to figure that one out.
I won't
He
lie.
won't tell me.
I think I have an idea. And she's gonna point to the image of Zayax. This Soren, is he like an evil Soren, or?
Oh, that one you don't need to worry about. He was sealed away in a book years ago.
I don't think he's sealed away in a book anymore.
Why, what do you mean? Last I heard, he was sealed away in a book and dropped to the bottom of some godforsaken pit.
This is the same man that we saw at the tournament you mentioned earlier.
That seems troublesome indeed.
He,
He's been imprisoned for a
from my
very long time.
understanding, he casted some spell on, and she'll point to the image of Breeze, the alchemist Soren, and that may have ultimately been what killed him.
Oh, well,
Though it may have been.
that's not good at all. You see, when they die, they return back to the primary, along with their knowledge that they've attained. It's actually quite a very intelligent ruse if you really think about it. If you're an individual that loves knowledge, and you split yourself into many pieces, and all of your dead fragments return their knowledge to you upon their demise, why, you don't really have to do much of anything, it would seem. He goes, that one, however, is the most violent. No doubt.
I see. Do you know what his general motives are, his intentions, why he was sealed away?
That's before my time. But nothing good, from what I've been told.
So ask Soren then.
I think you would only probably be able to get that answer from the actual Soren.
Well, thank you again for
He was
all
the
that
one
you've
who
done
actually
for us.
sealed him into that book. A bad egg's about to happen every so often.
You know, this really makes it a lot harder to kill Soren.
When there's
Not that I
14 of them wandering around.
not that I need to do that for any particular reason, but
Actually,
you know, just putting it out there.
actually, doesn't this make it easier to kill Soren because you have a good chance of running into a Soren?
Well, that
Fair
depends on whether or
point.
not she has to kill the, or if he has to kill the original. Sorry, he has to not kill the original Soren, or
Just hope you never meet the actual Soren's brothers. Or separate deities. That's a totally different book. You have to read that book a different day. That's a long book. He has it, though. All right.
all right.
So, as you guys are
Well,
having dinner,
it seems we must be. Oh, okay. I thought this was after dinner. My mistake then.
you're close to. Your dinner is interrupted by 2 minotaurs. Eskel kind of looks over as they storm in. What is it? Problems in the maze. Excuse me, I need to go look to this.
They have a maze. They're defending a maze.
Problems.
That's so on brand.
It's like, oh, would you like to see it?
I would love to.
Okay, so he walks as many of you want to go.
Or no, it's up and
I
follows.
go.
And as you're walking, it's like, you may have seen that all of our guards are minotaurs. This is for a very specific reason. The only way in and out of this city, other than flying in, is through the underground mazes below. And the only race that can find their way through without fail are the Minotaur. Hence, our bodyguards, we provide them shelter and friendship. They provide escorts and keep us safe.
So why can only the Minotaurs find their way through? Is it magic?
The maze is designed to keep people out specifically, unless we want them to come in. But believe me, there are people that have managed to proceed through. Your friend Soren, one of those individuals. But more often than not, without a guide, you're not going to make your way through.
So is it magic or just really tough?
He just kind of smiles and shrugs. Who could say? He's like, and not a lot of air, so if you get stuck down there for long periods of time or, get lost, you could get stuck down there for weeks and just starve to death. We patrol them every so often, but, how often does one go down a wrong turn intentionally?
Yeah, I see.
As you guys get down to the levels, you take like a tiny little lift. As you come out, you do see there's 4 minotaurs that are armored that appear to be like spread throughout this area, joining the 2 that are escorting you. On the ground, you see 3 dead minotaurs.
Is there blood?
Roll an investigation check. You kind of look, yeah, there's a lot of blood. One of them has had their head cut off. One of them has had their spine snapped in half. And one of them has been burned to a crisp.
Ominous. Foreboding.
Based on the relative size, armor of the individual, and how much charring and burnt flesh smell there is, how potent of a fire spell does this appear to be?
The armor that they were wearing is half melted in their remaining ash and corpse. If that gives you any hint. The individual with their head cut off, that's a very clean cut. The helmet is still on the head. The individual with the snap spine looks like they were folded in half.
Any sign of the intruders?
Survival check. See if you can see any tracks or anything.
I'm channeling my inner Gronkum right now.
This is
Thank
where
you,
we find out it
Gronkum.
actually was Gronkum.
Thank you, Gronkum.
You're welcome.
You look.
I'm gonna quickly try and relook. Actually, never mind.
You see two different sets of tracks, actually. There's one set of footprints that appears to have come in here. They look like they head further into the city, the direction you came from. There's another set of footprints that are smaller that head into the maze.
So one's loose in the city, one went back in.
It would seem from the looks of it.
One was killed by fire magic. One was bent in half, and the other decapitated. So someone really strong, and then someone with magic.
Something to bend a minotaur in half, I would not want to mess with.
Yeah, you really shouldn't mess with Gronk. Kidding. It's not Gronkum. I don't think.
No, it's definitely Gronkum.
That's what a guilty person would say.
If it is Gronkum, I have nothing to do.
I'm finally not being blamed for something.
Probably deaf.
I was gonna say somehow it's Steph's fault.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
there it
Duff
is.
was definitely the maid.
So, we'll pause there for you guys for this evening. To pick up next week.
Oh no.
We didn't even get to meet Jason.
Gronkum.
Yeah.
You've been following this group for about a day, maybe a day and a half now. You are making your way towards the city of Gancaster to look for your cousin Gronkum.
Oh, okay. One character sheet then. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good to go.
As you kind of crushed over a bridge, you kind of look, you've avoided most of the scouts of this larger army. Roll a general intelligence check or wisdom check. Your choice.
Wisdom. Okay. Wisdom I can do.
I'm also going to go ahead and mark down a spell slot for mage armor.
You look,
just in case.
this army appears to be heading south. From what you could count, there's probably about 40,000 troops in this march. However, you do notice something a bit troubling. and it kind of makes you wonder the best course of action. But you continue to follow. As you see, it looks like these troops are intersecting with another set of troops coming from the west. Not as big of a force by count, but a much bigger force by physical stature. As you see about another 12,000 troops meeting up with them. And that's where we'll end tonight.
Dun, dun, dun. Hold on, I'm looking at notes for this one. 1,000.
Too bad you guys rolled poorly on the Gronkum search.
I miss him.
Yeah. We
He's
will
alive,
get him
though.
back. That is something we now have confirmation of.
Oh, you do
Between
have
literal
confirmation
divine
of that?
intervention and the scrying crystal.
There's
Yeah, the
just,
Gronkum is alive.
so they got a confirmation that you are in fact alive. They asked if
We
you
just
were
don't know where.
by enemy. They got a neutral response, so it does not appear you were taken by enemy. And then they asked if it was a good, or if it was the best plan to return the prince to the king right now, and then the wisp glowed bright red did explode.
Not no, but hell no.
You skipped a couple levels of no straight to hell no.
I don't know. I think that was a perfect yes. Go right ahead there. But hey.
Hey, I mean, if you want to convince your party, I will gladly support you.
Yeah, that would stop me.
With the scrying, we got some hint as to where Gronkum was, and that was the fact that it was cold and snowy.
Basically, and I think it was only Leah, you got the outline of a mountain within this image, and it was just foggy, cold, snowy. All you could pick up. Just a non-moving mountain.
Which implies that Gronkum has effectively been teleported somewhere, so we have no idea where he is, just that it's somewhere with mountains and snow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he ended up there somehow. He didn't necessarily have to teleport. Maybe he's just really fast. I know where Gronkum is right now.
I know what Gronkum is right now.
I would hope the GM knows where Gronkum is.
Def does not know where Gronkum
As a
is.
player, I'm pretty sure I know where Gronkum is
I will
currently.
prove that none of you know where Gronkum is right now. You might have some guesses.
Gronkum is where Gronkum
Fair.
is.
Gronkum is where Gronkum is. Yes. Well played.
My assumption is that he's in the court of the Winter Queen.
Could be. You could always ask him.
No, we can't. That's the problem.
Why not?
Because
Enemies.
we have
your
no
enemies-
form of communication with him.
Ascending.
You literally rejected the guy
Ooh.
trying to talk to you from the Winter Creed when you were fleeing the town.
Who rejected?
Eric,
I didn't reject him.
when he was trying to talk to you. Oh wait, no. You talked to him for a little bit. Gronkum
Yeah,
flew up.
our conversation was interrupted by evil Satesh showing up and effectively abducting.
All you guys had to do is give them that horn, and they would be your best friends.
We were so mean to them.
You
For no
guys,
reason.
Ari tried to send him.
they paid you. They
Ari,
hired
no.
you. All you ever had
Ari
to
indicated
do
for him where the party was, and effectively told him to go there. Then she was, taken away via the bird.
It was only one of them too, and he had a rough day. He did save you though. Him and Gronkum.
Yeah.
You too. All right.
Ari
He's
didn't
not that
screw him,
strong.
and, she
He's not
didn't
that
avoid
strong
talking to him.
You guys haven't got to play with my favorite Winter Queen people yet.
And hopefully we never will.
The tieflings are the best. Do you
The
remember
tieflings are always the best.
No, they're twins.
No, the tieflings are always the best, though.
Dread and Sadness.
They don't sound very nice.
Let's
No,
see. Who do you
Nice
still
is
have
their
on
cousin.
Nice is their cousin. Twice removed. Teens. Oh, Winter Queen. Hold on. Where's Winter Queen? I'll pull them up. Some of these people aren't alive anymore. Winter Queen, Winter Queen, Winter Queen. According to the Winter Queen. So, Sir Graves is still alive. You've not fought Sir Graves. Although you've played with his magic a little bit. Aragorn is the one that you guys met in the town. He's maybe alive. Walk on Azra from the competition. You don't know. You're assuming they're probably alive. They weren't that powerful, though. Gajil is dead.
Super dead.
Super dead. Jalal's alive. And you're probably confident that Dread and Sadness are alive. Dread is the white. Let's see, which one's the male, which one's the female. Dread is the white female tiefling. Sadness is the blue male tiefling. And so they had hired you, because you guys have Sir Edward, which was one of Sir Graves' knights. You have his soul that you said you were going to take home. They hired you to get the horn. All they need is their horn. Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out too. You don't know he's with the Winter Queen. What makes you think that that one guy's with the Winter Queen? What if he just likes snow?
Yeah, what if the devil just liked ice? We don't know why he had an ice hand.
I was talking about Grandpa.
Sometimes it's just nice to be frosty.
Sometimes
It's not
it is.
always the winter court.
You want a snow cone? You never know.
And he's just that kind of guy. He gives out snow cones, slushies, ice